The Joe Rogan Experience.
These young kids that I have at the club, like I was explaining Wu-Tang Clan to them the other night. I go, do you have to understand how wild this band was? I go, when Old Dirty Bastard was in Rikers, they went to Rikers and performed in Rikers.
You remember that?
Yes!
How the fuck you remember that?
I told everybody, I was like, do you know how crazy that is? You're talking about like the biggest rap band in the fucking world, and they're performing in a penitentiary to one of the members who's one of the biggest fucking hip-hop stars in the world who's in jail.
He's in jail
and
right
then you guys go into the crowd.
God bless his soul, first and foremost.
Oh my God,
But,
Old Dirty Bastard was a classic.
Joe is the funniest shit because when we came in and when we seen him, he was eating a cheeseburger, laughing and shit. He remind you he never was, dirty. I don't even think I never seen him eat meat like that or whatever the case may be. But we came in, he was eating a cheeseburger and shit, laughing. So we was dying laughing, and they kept, the people up in there, they kept telling us like, yo, y'all can't go into the crowd with everybody. We not gonna hold no responsibility if something happened. So we like, all right, nah, we ain't going in. Once we got on that stage, it was like, fuck the stage. We out there touching everybody, and
wow,
it was love, man. It was
what
a
year
lot
was
of
that?
love, man. It had to be 98, 97.
Wow.
98.
Was it RZA that tried? Was it initially all 9 guys? Like, how did it get formed?
Well, number one, it was RZA, his cousin Jizza, and his other cousin, Old Dirty Bastard, that they were super close. Now, Old Dirty Bastard and Jizza, they were from Brooklyn. RZA was from Staten Island. We all Brooklyn babies too. Majority of us in the clan, we all resided in Staten Island, but majority of us grew up in Brooklyn. But anyway, it was those 3 that were close as shit. So RZA, back then, he had knowledge of self, which was being involved with the Nation of Islam, and also Jizza and Old Dirty. They were a part of the Nation at that time. So they would go to a lot of rallies. This is a place where everybody go when they build. They talking about mathematics and all of this. But it was Jizza and Old Dirty who instilled the hip-hop into RZA. So RZA was a DJ back then, but he knew how to rhyme too. And he knew how to rhyme because of his cousins. So they kind of had this gang called, not a gang, but they had this thing called the All In Together Now crew, which was them 3, and they would run around and they would battle, different guys from different cities and move around. So, some of us kind of knew what they were about. A lot of us, found out later who they were. But when Jizza and Old Dirty came to Staten Island, they came and they hang out with their cousin. So, we started to see them a little bit more and know that, yo, I heard about your rhymes. And, and Dirty, he was just a crazy motherfucker back then. He was crazy. But, they had their own little thing going on. And then, next thing you know, Jizza caught a record deal. He caught a record deal, which was rare back then. Like, if you fucking caught a record deal, that mean that you had to have relationships, you had to know where to go, you had to have some type of connects. So that's what gravitated RZA into wanting to do it, because he seen that his cousin was able to, crack the code on making a record. So when that happened, it was almost like it magnetized RZA to be like, yo, I got to make a record now too. And the next thing you know, they had their movement going on. So us from the outside looking, it was like, oh shit, yo, we know them. We know they super passionate about, being in the game and doing whatever they going to do. But we wasn't thinking that far. We just loved the music in general.
Wow. So RZA is essentially the mastermind to put all the pieces together and to bring all you killers into under one roof.
Absolutely.
Amazing how he saw that. Because again, that's not something that existed.
Yeah.
It's like Eric B and Rakim. There was a few EPMD. There's a few people.
You know your shit.
Yeah,
though. You know your shit. You
Gangstar.
Right,
there was a few people that were together, but it
Right.
wasn't like you guys.
Nah, because
it was kind of scary. It was like, God damn, when you guys had a show. I mean, I heard stories that it was just like you guys would show up like 300 people.
Yeah, that was some neighborhood shit, but yeah, like you said, that was so rare to see a group that come out like that, and it was really a mistake. It wasn't really designed to be that way, but when RZA had a record situation and they tried to make him be something that he wasn't, and then
always the case.
You know what I mean? He was like, "Yo, fuck that. I don't even care about the shit at this level no more. I want to create this now, and I'm bringing in all my guys." And he just put that number together. So believe it or not, I was one of the guys that he called first because we used to hang out. Like I tell people all the time, like, yo, I might have been RZA's first, big fan. So I kind of seen something in him already. I seen something. I'm like, yo, this guy really, him and his cousins, and I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers really got talent. Not only the ability to rhyme, but they was clever. Like, I'm talking about clever rhymes.
Right.
And they was mixing it with the knowledge and, smart rhymes. Not these fucking regular Humpty Dumpty lines. Like, I'm talking about serious rhymes. I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, yo, so, this is something that I felt like I would want to go chill with them just to be in the mix and be a fly on the wall. Wasn't even thinking about being no fucking rapper. I didn't give a fuck. I just loved the music, but I'm watching these motherfuckers, yo. I'm like, something about these motherfuckers that I love.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, when RZA went out there and he came back to the community, he was like, yo, I caught a record deal. So, I was there. I'm like, let me see this shit, looking at this shit. See what the fuck is, oh yeah, I'm looking down here, like you said, the what's the name? The
fine print.
Yeah, the fine print and shit. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker made a record. Oh shit, yo. Wow, Staten Island, that's what's up. We up. But his situation ain't work out the way he wanted it to. And that's when he came back and he started to be like, yo, Chef, this is what I'm trying to do. So when RZA came with the whole Wu-Tang philosophy, it was almost like, yeah, we love karate flicks. We would watch them. You know about the karate flicks,
Sure.
3 o'clock. Yeah. When we come home from school, them shits is on, Channel 5, all of that shit. But if you notice and you look at those karate movies, it was about a place that, was filled with a lot of crime and aggressive people that were doing things that bothered other people, and you either had to protect your people or you had to make a name for yourself. Now, when you think about Wu-Tang, I'm going to just give you a quick lesson on what Wu-Tang was. Wu-Tang was a school that was in Shaolin. This particular school, these niggas was crazy. They was fucked up. They got kicked the fuck out of Shaolin.
Really?
They got kicked out. Yo, y'all bugged out. Y'all wildin', y'all. But these guys were very good, but they just couldn't sit in Shaolin because they had a different way of looking at shit and doing shit. So when RZA came with the whole philosophy of it, it's this movie that's called Shaolin vs. Wu-Tang, right? Check it out whenever you get a chance. So whatever was going on in that movie, he made a reality of it, because really at the end of the day, that's how we were living back in Staten Island. So we wound up changing the name and calling it Shaolin because we were the forgotten borough. When you think about Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, we don't really talk too much about fucking Staten Island. That bothered us. So we felt rebellious, like, yo, you come out here, you ain't from here, you better know somebody. You're not fucking coming in the projects thinking you gonna fucking act like you going over to your friends. I remember we used to see UFOs come through, we call them UFOs, unidentified flying objects. The fuck he doing here? Yo, follow him. Go, yo, what you came to see? You know what I mean? Because we had so much to prove, but it was the same thing that was going on in the karate flicks. Like, yo, you go to a new neighborhood. Who is this guy? Either he's coming to play you, or you gonna play him. This is all the shit that's going on in the karate movies. The brotherhood. Yo, oh shit, my brother got hurt. What happened? Oh, hold up, let's go.
Right.
We gotta go get back to that.
Yeah.
We gotta go figure that out. All this shit that RZA was thinking about at that time was a reality check for us in Staten Island. So even when he came with the name, it was almost like, yo, wow, that shit is interesting, you know, Wu-Tang Clan, yo. You know, and back then he was hanging in Ghost's community, which was Stapleton. So Stapleton was a place that was maybe like 10, 15 miles away from Park Hill, where I'm from. I'm from the Hill. I'm from up there. They was selling drugs and getting crazy with it, and Jamaicans and West Indians and Guyanese, and, you know, it was a melting pot. You know, it was a melting pot of different nationalities of motherfuckers. You had the Spanish motherfuckers over here selling dope. You know what I mean? You had the white boys over here fucking doing what they doing. You know, all these things was going on, but in Stapleton, it was nothing but criminals and motherfuckers that want to fight and rob and steal, and, you know, and RZA was hanging out there a lot. You know, so they came up with this whole, you know, Wu-Tang mentality thing that they brought up the block to us. So when RZA came with it, it was like, oh shit, we like that. That's kind of dope. But, you know, we see the vision of that, you know. But it was never for us to look at it at any given time like, yo, you trying to portray us as some fucking ninjas or some shit. You know, a lot of times people thought, yo, y'all niggas know karate and all this shit? You don't know fucking karate, motherfucker. We don't do that. But we grew up, our older brothers and sisters, they grew up on that. That was some early 70s shit right there.
Yeah.
So, you know, back then you might have had a cousin that was a martial art. He knew the arts and shit. You know, you looked up to him like, yo, this motherfucker's ill right here. He know the arts and shit. He know how to fight. You know, your motherfucker would be in back of the building with 2 Doberman pinches and shit. You know what I mean? Beating them with fucking laundromat hoses and shit, and, you know, grabbing them and hanging them on shit. And, you know, back then that was, you know, that was dope to see your cousins and all of them do it. But RZA, when he came with this philosophy, it kind of like fucked us all up in it. But we agreed with it right away. Look, prime example, when we made the record Cream, right? Cream was a record that didn't have nothing to do with anything but the realness of what we were looking at. It wasn't really a song to rap to or have fun with. It was a reality. It was a picture we was trying to paint.
Cash rules everything around me.
Cash rules, like, around me, not me. Should never fucking rule you, but around me. You know, and a friend from the neighborhood, he actually came up with that acronym. But I tell people all the time, I had a cousin from Brooklyn that he used to come to Staten Island, and he used to sell drugs for us, and he came up with that word, cream, because he was like, yo, as long as I can make my cream, I'm good. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is cream? Like, you know what I mean? He's like, yo, cream, yo, you ever see Tom and Jerry, the movie, and, you know, he make those big fucking sandwiches and all of that, and he splash all that cream on it, and you know, I'm like, oh, the Tom and Jerry, the sandwiches, right? Yeah, when he made the big sandwiches and stuff them in your mouth and all. Nah, real shit.
That's
so
hilarious.
the cream that was splashing all over the place, he was looking at that as that's his money. Like, yo, I just want my cream. You know what I mean? So we like, yeah, you gonna get your cream. You sit up in the fucking spot all day, you gonna make your cream. You gonna get it. And
So who came up with the acronym?
A good friend of ours from the neighborhood. His name is Raid, right? And him and Method Man is like, they was like real close, like brothers. So when we was in the studio, right into it, he was there, and he just sat back and he just came up with cash rules, everything around me, and him and Meth, they put it together, and next thing you know, that was a hook. You know, at that time for me, I was still writing a lot of stories. You know, so I wrote, believe it or not, I wrote 2 verses for Cream. I didn't write, my rhyme never started off as I grew up on the crime side. I was writing about drug dealers in the neighborhood. Like, yo, I know this kid by the name of Gigante, a Teflon Don with a Diamante. You know, the Diamantes back in the days was like the, you know, the 5 Series Benzes for us back then. And a good friend of mine was like, yo, that rhyme is cool. I think it's all right. I'm like, yo, why you don't like the rhyme? Everybody else like it. He was like, it's cool, I like it. So he made me go back and change it. And when I changed it, I started to think before I wrote it. I'm like, damn, he said, yo, we need to rhyme about shit that's something that we could relate to, that we're dealing with around what the fuck we wake up to every day. And that's when I came with I grew up on the crime side, you know, the New York Times side.
So he just told you harder.
Yeah, he just told me to think harder.
Harder, yeah.
He said, "Yo, Chef, you could be a little bit more creative."